Welcome back to Yoga by Paige. In today's flow, we'll be working on a Mandala flow where you move from the very front of your mat all the way around in a 360-degree angle. You are going to want to have a block for some core work before we get into the heavy part of our flow. And if you are ready, let's go ahead and get started in a downward facing dog. Coming to the top of your mat, you'll place your hands underneath the shoulders, lifting the hips and dropping your heels down towards the ground. Taking a few moments here just to connect with the breath. Taking a nice big deep inhale to fill the lungs. Deep exhale as you press the hands into the mat, reaching your chest closer towards the thighs and the heels towards the ground. We'll stay here for just 2 more as you connect to your intention for showing up today, as you connect into the amount of energy you will put forth into your practice. We're here for just 1 more. And exhale. Inhaling, walk your hands all the way back to your feet at the back of your mat, arriving in a forward fold. Taking a moment here to heel your feet so that they're slightly wider than hip width distance apart, and we'll grab opposite elbows to ragdoll hang. Letting the head hang really nice and heavy, we're tapping into the sensation in the backs of our legs. Feeling the hamstrings slowly begin to open. You might even feel a gentle tug through the calves. You can nod your head yes or no, and maybe even just gently slide here from side to side, checking with each of the individual hamstrings in the back of the legs. We'll take 1 more big inhalation here. And then on your exhale, release your hands down to the mat. Pressing your hands into your shins here, lengthen your tailbone towards the back of your mat, lifting your chest up, finding a nice, strong, flat spine. 1 more breath here as you turn the sternum forward, feeling that pressure between hands and your shins, and we'll exhale it right back down. Tuck your chin into your chest. You'll press through the heels and slowly rise all the way back up into your mountain. Gliding shoulders down the spine, lifting the gaze, lifting the arms. We'll exhale, hands back through heart center. Good, yogis. Inhale, circle sweep arms all the way high. Exhaling to swan dive fold. We'll inhale to find that halfway lift, fingertips to mat, or if you prefer the shins, you can press into the shins. Exhaling into that forward fold. Now this time, we'll try to keep those legs really nice and straight as we walk forward into this strong high plank. Arriving in your high plank pose here, you'll take the upper arm bones and plug them right back into the sockets, hugging them in. You'll push the ground away with your hands, finding a slight rounding sensation in the upper back. Squeeze the hands together and turn your sternum forward. Lengthening the tailbone out towards your knees so you feel really strong and steady, as if you could hold your plank for 5 minutes. Don't worry, yogis, we won't do that. Take 1 more breath. And then from here, you'll inhale, shift forward to the toes with control, lowering through your chaturanga all the way down to the belly. Untuck the toes, roll your shoulders out of the air, squeezing the elbows in. Pull the chest through your biceps, finding that really baby cobra pose. Prep for our locust. Exhale back down. Roll your shoulders, squeeze the elbows. Inhale, maybe come up for a medium cobra this time, feeling that connection between your arms and your spine. Exhale it back down. Roll the shoulders, squeeze the elbows. 1 more time. If you like, you can press all the way back up into a upward facing dog. And then we'll slowly lower back down. Bring the big toes to touch behind you. We'll rock the hips back towards the thighs. Slowly dropping your forehead down into the ground, settling into a nice wide leg child's pose. Starting to feel a little bit of heat in the body. Maybe the heart rate is beginning to pick up. We'll take 1 more breath here. And then go ahead and tuck your toes, lift the hips, make your way back into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog here, we'll take a big inhalation to fill the lungs. And open your mouth, let go. This time we'll gaze between the hands, lift the heels, and yogi's choice, depending on how you feel today, you can step or float into your forward fold. Inhaling to find your halfway lift, fingertips to the mat or shins, whatever feels best for you, and exhaling it back, downward face or forward fold. Inhale, rise up, mountain pose, palms touch, gaze lifts, and this time draw the hands back to heart center, tucking your chin into your chest, reconnecting to that purpose once more. We'll inhale, circle sweep arms high to the sky, exhaling, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale to find your halfway lift, and we'll plant the hands, step back into a really strong high plank pose. So that same plank that we built up, hugging the shoulders, pushing the ground away, squeeze the hands together, and then turn your sternum forward. And this is where our block will come in handy. You'll grab that block and place it underneath your right hand. So you're in a slightly off-center plank pose. From here, you're gonna keep your right hand on that block, just lift up your opposite foot. So the right hand is on the block, your left foot will lift. So you should feel a little bit off center. See how much you can equalize through the torso here. Take an inhale, and now exhale, bring that left knee into your chest. With this knee into your chest, you'll spin your right toes open, drop that right heel down, and now pick up that block, send the block to the sky, and your left knee all the way up, twisting it out. We'll set the block right back down, come back into your high plank to reset, and if that was brutal, you totally did it right. You're gonna inhale, lift up that left foot. Exhale, bring your left knee to your chest, spin the right toes down, right heel down, and then pick your block up, knee to the sky. Exhale, come back down, high plank to reset. We just have one more, yogis. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, knee to chest. Spin the right toes out, right heel down. Inhale, right arm to the sky, left knee to the sky as well. Woo. And then set it back down with control to that high plank. Sit back on your thighs and take a moment just to reset. We'll come into that second side. Your block will be underneath your left hand, and your right hand will be underneath your shoulders. Coming back up into your high plank pose. Now you know what we got going on, yogis. Take an inhale, float your right leg high. That's the opposite foot from your hand on the block. Exhale, knee to chest. Spin your left toes open. You're gonna drop that left heel, left hand to the sky, spinning your right knee all the way up. Don't worry if it doesn't get there. With time it will. High plank pose on the exhale. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee to chest. Spin the left toes out, left heel down, left arm up to the sky, and the right knee points up. Feeling all of those center muscles hug in. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee to chest. Left toes out, left heel down, arm high, and knee high. We'll set it back down, finding that plank pose. Release to your knees, set your block aside, and just pause. Coming back to your Ujjayi breath, big breath. And exhale. Feeling your heat. And now we are ready for our Mandala Flow. Go ahead and come into your downward facing dog. Big breath here in your downward facing dog. Dropping the heels down, dropping the gaze down, resetting. Inhale, lift your heels, bending the knees. Yogi's choice here, step or float into your forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthen legs and chest. Exhale, down. This time the big toes will be together. The heels can be slightly apart. You'll drop the seat, lift your chest, chair pose, finding Utkatasana. In your chair pose here, shift the weight back into your heels and let your hips sink a little bit lower. Think about pulling the rib cage in so you might be able to find length in your lower back. This first round here will go a little bit slower so our body can adjust to the flow. On your next inhale, stand up, bring your right knee into your chest. Pushing off of that left leg, feel the heel connect with the ground, lengthening the lower back here. Take one more breath in your single leg mountain, and now exhale, step the right leg back as far as you can, coming into crescent lunge. You are high in the ball of that right foot, wrapping your hip forward and lifting the back of that right knee as far away from the mat as you can. Take one more breath in your crescent lunge, and then inhale, straighten your left leg, stand all the way up. Hips are square, shoulders are square. We're gonna keep this length through our spine. Just slowly lower all the way over this left leg for a pyramid stretch. Let the forehead drop down towards the shin, equalizing through the hips, using your breath to help you develop the stretch. We're here for one more. And then inhaling, lift your chest up halfway. We'll spin out to a wide leg forward fold over your right shoulder. Turn your toes in, your heels out. With your hands underneath your shoulders, lift your chest up halfway. And then exhaling, lower all the way down into a forward fold that serves your body today. So we have a couple of options. You can start to walk your hands through, reaching the hands towards the back of your body. You can always grab the big toes with your peace fingers, or if you have a headstand practice and you really want to come into that, you can find a tripod headstand, allowing the crown of the head to touch down to the ground,
floating those legs up really nice and high, knitting the rib cage in and activating the legs. We'll take one more inhale. Wherever you are, find that forward fold. Lift your chest up halfway, and then exhaling back down into your forward fold. Continuing our journey over this right shoulder, turn to the back of your mat. You're now in your pyramid stretch on the back. Your left heel is lifted, lift up that chest to find equalization through the hips and the spine, and then fold over your right leg. So we're in that pyramid stretch for the first time on your right side. Allow the body to adapt to the shape, breathing into the backside body and connecting with the different sensations through each of your hamstrings here. On your next inhale, you'll rebend this right leg, lengthen that left leg out, lifting the knee away from the mat, finding your strong crescent lunge. Rib cage is knitting in, and both legs are strong and steady. Take a big breath here in your chair pose. And then on your exhale, you're gonna step into your right leg, bring the left knee up into your chest. One leg mountain pose as you push your right heel into the ground. It's okay if you wobble. Knitting the rib cage in. And now with the bend of this left leg, match it with your right as you sit back down into your chair pose. Nice big opening in your chair here. Inhale. Stay for the exhale. So we'll continue that journey on the right side. Take an inhale here and exhale. Step into this left leg, bring your right knee to your chest. Lifting off through that left heel, hugging the rib cage in, finding length in the lower back. Take a breath, inhale, and on your exhale, we'll step this right leg back all the way into your crescent lunge. One cycle of breath here as we slowly begin to pick up our pace, staying for the exhale. Inhale, straighten your left leg, pull the rib cage in, get really nice and tall here, and then exhaling, fold out into your pyramid stretch. Bowing over this left thigh, checking in with the hips to make sure they're nice and even. And then on your next inhale, you'll lift your chest up halfway, walk over to the right once more, coming into that wide leg forward fold for the second time. Hands can be underneath the chest as you shift forward, and you can find another headstand here if you choose, another arm variation if you choose, or back into the same variation you did on the first side. If you're going for that headstand, go ahead and float right up. You're in your tripod headstand, hugging the shoulders away from your ears, and then we'll come right back down. Inhale, everybody lift your chest up halfway, turning over the right shoulder one more time. This is your pyramid stretch on the right leg. Go ahead and bow out over that right leg, staying for the exhale. Inhale to bend your right knee, keep the back leg steady and strong. Crescent lunge. Knitting the rib cage in, feeling the strength of your legs. Now the left knee will step into your chest. Hug it all the way up and in, pushing off of your right heel. Standing in your strength here as you proudly display your chest, and then exhale, let the left knee meet your right, settling down into your chair pose. And that is your full Mandala Yogis. Take an inhale, stand up, let it go. Exhaling, swan dive, forward fold. Inhaling, lift up halfway, lengthening legs and chest. Exhaling, plant your hands, find the vinyasa of your choice. Step or floating it back, high to low plank. Inhaling for your upward facing dog or cobra, and exhaling it back into your downward facing dog. We'll be here in downward facing dog for 3 breaths. Remember, you can always float the elbows down for dolphin pose, and you are always welcome to find child's pose as well. We have one more breath here, wherever you are. And then if you took an option here, go ahead and make your way back to downward facing dog. We'll start this mandala, but leading with our left side this time. Maybe we'll add on something a little bit fun too. Lift your heels, bend your knees. Yogi's choice here, step or float into your forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling all the way back down. Dropping your seat, lift your chest, chair pose, Utkatasana. So we'll actually move a tiny bit faster, yogis. On your inhale, you'll stand up, hug your left knee into your chest, pushing off of your right heel, lengthening through the spine. And then on your next inhale, step this left leg back as far as you can, finding that crescent lunge, hugging everything in. Inhaling, step through the right heel, straightening your right leg. Exhaling to bow out over your right leg for your pyramid stretch. Go ahead and inhale, turn over the left shoulder, wide leg forward fold, lifting your chest up, inhale, and then exhaling, forward fold. And this is where we're gonna add on something a little bit fun. You can stay in your wide leg forward fold, or if you wanna play around with me, go ahead and come on. You'll lift up onto your hands. So you're putting your weight into the heels of your hands. We're gonna take a hop here for a wide leg handstand to hop our feet together. Inhale up, and then exhale, bring your feet together. You'll inhale, hop your feet right back out, and then turn your chest over that left shoulder toward your pyramid stretch at the back of your mat. That'll get your heart rate up. Bend that left knee, inhale, come up into your crescent lunge. Nice big length here. And then on your exhale, you're gonna bring your right knee to your chest for that single leg mountain pose. Lengthen out through your left leg, and then exhale, meet the right knee to your left, settling back into your chair pose for the second side. Take a big inhale, stay for that exhale. Here we go, left side. Inhale, bring the left knee to your chest, stand it up nice and strong. Exhaling, step that left foot back as far as you can. Full crescent lunge. Take an inhale to settle in. Stay for that exhale. Right leg will straighten out, and then you know what to do. We'll fold over this right leg, finding that pyramid stretch. From pyramid stretch here, inhale, lift your chest up. We'll turn into that wide leg fold over the left shoulder once more. And then remember, you can stay here in your wide leg forward fold with any arm variation you want. Or if you went for that little bit of fun, you'll go ahead and plant your hands underneath your shoulders. Shift the weight into the hands, gripping their mat with your fingertips. We'll find an inhale to hop for that wide leg. Maybe come up, and then bring your feet together before hopping them right back out. There's your little burpee there. You'll turn your shoulder over to the left one more time, coming into your pyramid stretch. Wrapping the left hip back, bending your left knee. We'll inhale, come up into that strong crescent lunge. Nice length here as you breathe. And then exhaling, step your right knee to your chest, stand it up. Inhale to find your length. Pressing off of your left heel, and then sneak that right knee right back down with your left. Settling into your chair pose, and you have made it successfully through another revolution. Stand all the way up, lift your chest up high to the sky, exhaling, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, lengthening legs and chest, finding the vinyasa that you choose. Remember, you are welcome to skip this if you need to or want to. Upward facing dog on the inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. And then all together, we'll take those knees wide, drop your hips, settling back into a nice child's pose. Feeling the breath settle down, allowing the heart rate to slow as well. Just connecting to the heat that you have built in the body. One more here. We'll go ahead and walk ourselves upright. Sit your seat to one side, bring the legs out in front of you. With the legs out in front of you, you can grab the backs of your thighs here and rock back right away into a little boat pose. So I like grabbing the thighs because then it helps me to lift up your chest. Maybe that will help you as well. And then you'll bring your hands out in front. Take a big inhale into your boat. And on your exhale, we'll lower down to half boat, Ardha Navasana. Take an inhale here, pull that navel in, and then exhale, lift it back up. We'll do that a few more times. Yogis, inhale, reach it up, and exhale back. Trying to keep the chest elevated. Inhale out, and then exhale together. Two more, you've got it. Inhale out, and exhale together. Last one, inhale out, and exhale together. Hugging those knees into your chest. Go ahead and rock it right back. Allowing the knees to settle in over your chest, giving the body a nice little massage by creating circles with the knees in one direction and then in the other direction. And now we'll plant both feet on the mat. Take your right ankle over the left thigh, setting up for a reclined figure four. Your right hand will press this knee away from your face, so you're finding a little bit of opening through the lower back on the right side, and even through that hip socket. You're welcome to stay there, or my level ones, you'll come and grab your left thigh. My level twos, you'll grab that left shin. And then level threes, if you want something deeper, you're welcome to find reclined pigeon. We'll stay here for just 3 breaths, feeling the Ujjayi breath kick back in, lengthening out, and settling the body down into our more receiving end of the practice.
Last one here. Exhaling, release this left foot down. You'll take this right thigh and continue crossing it all the way over your left. Open your right arm out wide into a T and drop both legs over to the left for a nice spinal twist here. Gaze can turn to the right as you melt that right shoulder down towards the ground. Settling in here for this twist, feeling that unwinding sensation throughout the whole body. And then you'll uncross those legs, come right back through center to reset for our second side. Your right foot will connect with the mat. You'll cross the left ankle over your right thigh, and then take your left hand to press that knee away, finding your space in the left lower back and that left hip. And this feels pretty dreamy. If you want to stay there, you're more than welcome. If you do want a deeper stretch, you can curl up. Level 1 again, grabbing your thigh. Level 2, shin, or level 3, full reclined pigeon. Trying to keep that knee pointing away from the face using the muscles in your hip socket. We're here for just a couple more breaths. Dropping in, finding that 5 count inhale and 5 count exhale. Release this right foot down to the mat. You'll continue crossing this left thigh all the way over your right. Open the arms out wide into their T, and you'll drop both legs over to your right. Your right hand can rest on that top thigh as you turn the gaze to the left, finding this deep spinal twist. You might even feel this stretch a little bit on that outer hip. It's one of the benefits of crossing our legs over. We'll take one more breath. Inhaling, uncross those legs, hug the knees back into your chest. And we'll just find here a little happy baby. So the peace fingers can hook on the big toes, or you can grab the pinky edge side of your foot using your core to set the lower back down onto the mat. The arms will help you to pull your thighs more parallel to the ground, and then the elbows will help you open those knees nice and wide, getting into the groin a little bit more. With all of those pieces together, you can find a nice gentle rock here side to side. If you want a little bit of a groin stretch after all of that forward folding in our wide leg, you can open one leg, maybe open the other, maybe open out both, really open, and then hug those knees into your chest. We'll plant the feet on the mat, bringing the arms alongside the body for a gentle bridge pose. Pulling the navel into the spine, press through your heels to slowly elevate the hips. Think about the tailbone reaching out towards your knees, imaginarily squeezing a block between your thighs. Your chin is lifting up away from your chest, and if you want, you can walk your hands underneath and interlace the fingers. Sometimes it's nice also to grab the edges of your mat to help you lift your chest up. Breathing here for 2. And 1. And then go ahead and release whatever kind of clasp you have, untuck your shoulders, and lower down here one vertebra at a time. Allow the pelvis to be the very last thing to touch the mat. And then when you are ready here, you can hug the knees into the chest. Go ahead and extend the legs out for your final resting posture, shaking the legs so they fall open naturally, rolling the shoulders down away from your ears, palms turn up towards the sky, and the eyes are closed with a slight tuck of your chin. Allowing your body to feel supported and cradled by the mat beneath you. Taking a moment to scan from the crown of the head to the toes, recognizing where you might still have energy stored, where you might still feel the need to be active. And using this gentle scan to let go, to feel the head drop back into the mat, to allow the breath to come back to its natural pace. Taking just a few more moments here, basking in the space that you've created. You're welcome to stay here for as long as you would like to, yogi. But if you're ready to move on through with your day, go ahead and reach your arms all the way up overhead. Exhaling, roll over to your side, support the head with your arm as if it were a pillow. And when you're ready, you can press yourself up into a nice comfortable seat, drawing hands to heart center. Eyes closed with a slight bow on the forehead. In gratitude for sharing your practice, the teacher and the light in me honors the teacher and the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me, Yoga by Paige. If you like what you just experienced, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We release weekly videos, including vlogs, meditations, and of course, yoga flows. Peace, love, and joy.